Hey guys, it's your old pal Rita Sue 2011 again. If you're wondering why I'm such in a good mood today, my little sister's gone, so I mean, she wouldn't be writing me for this. We're gonna, Now we're gonna get real detailed with the real M.A.C.E. Alright. This is where we left off the last time. The M.A.C.E. converted version of Kano. So here's the Joe we drew earlier in the how to draw the real M.A.C.E. video. Just thinking as a YouTube operator, I'm just really wanting to know how it benefited you guys. So feel free to comment and let me know how it helped you. So here's the stronger version of Freddy, if you would have guessed the razor gloves. It does say that he's wearing Jason's hockey mask as a souvenir, so you might think that Freddy won the fight, but this next guy will prove you wrong. So horribly wrong. Here he is, Jason Voorhees. Now this is a completely different Freddy Voorhees. Wait a minute, did I say Freddy Voorhees? ain't that the darndest thing? I mean, a completely different Jason Voorhees, because he's gone through a completely different timeline. He didn't drown, he didn't die, he didn't go through all that, but he did go through the apocalypse. So the M.A.C.E. found him, so he's playing for the good guys, which is the M.A.C.E. obviously. Here's the cyber version of me. If you're wondering, why is Daryl a cyborg? It's because I was looking at the Mortal Kombat 9 cyber characters and I thought, hey, I should make my guys look like that. So I decided to throw a little MK9 cyborg and a little bit of Terminator in there. So this is what we got. The next four characters are pretty much the same thing. Here's Josh. Okay, I'll be really honest with you. I was kind of looking for a complete cyborg, but I thought, what the heck? I'll kind of make him look like Jax. So here's Joe, Riker, and Naked Snake. That's why. He's missing his other eye. I know I'm going to get a hell of a lot of copyright issues from this. This is the Pinky Demon from Doom 3. Now brace yourselves, because this next guy is by far the gnarliest character I ever drew in my lifetime or ever will. The vamp version of me. King of the vampires. Okay, the way I see it, the vampires in Earthrealm, and I mean we're talking a Blade situation here. So the Earthrealm Blade, I mean vamps, mind you, are complete dicks. But the Outworld vampires, they got more class. They outrank the Earthrealm vampires in every other way. they have what it takes to get things done. Here's what he looks like up close. If you notice the two fangs growing next to each other, it's because he's sort of the alpha vampire. He sort of keeps them in check. And by that I mean, if any of them step out of line, well, here's what you need to know about them. The twin fangs grow at twice the rate of normal vampires, making this one a massive threat. The pupils appear when somebody makes them mad. And I mean really mad. Now the red bandana was given at a coronation ceremony, making him king. So that pretty much is a symbol of his authority. The red ponytail holder, it's nothing special. It's just a change. That's nothing. If you guys watched Rain of Fire, starring Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey, you know who this guy is. That's Stan Van Zandt. That's my cousin Mikey. That's Eric Cartman from South Park, obviously. That's Dan Marsh, Carl Broflovsky, and Kenny McCormick. Raiden. That's Josh as a vampire. Joe, Riker, the Rockstar Squad, me, Josh, Joe, and Riker. The Mark 264 hierarchy. Now basically the 264 is divided into two different weapons. The heavy metal shoulder fired bolt action 88 millimeter cannon. Now this is the mobile drone controlled semi-automatic cannon. With deployable bipod, it can go anywhere. Well, there's my ship, the SS Kim Austin, named after my mom. Now, the vamp me and the normal me sort of have a real bad blood feud, so it's no surprise if he has another ship. So there you go. There's a crew. It consists of me, Joe, Riker, and Josh. Because he's paranoid, he hired many conscripts. In other words, he hired many people to go on his ship. So there's Makarov, Kano, and me. There's a Fountain of Youth. Now there's my version of Moloch. He looks a lot worse. Or stronger, whichever one works for you. Now this I really put some thought into. This is a female clone of Kano, so if you would have guessed, her name would have been Kana. If you look up close, you'll see her eye. See? There's Cole Collins. He's one of the students at South Shelby, just like me, but he was getting on my nerves one day, so I just thought, I wasn't really thinking, so I just drew him like this. Cole, if you're watching this, sorry, buddy. There's what Kano and Kano look like. If you would have guessed, they're getting along pretty good. I was looking at a Disturbed video one day, Disturbed, the rock band, and this character came into mind. So, here he is. This was part of a LA2 assignment, so I was supposed to give a sheet to my friends and have them come up with their own character from the M.A.C.E, so here's my friend Arthur Turrieta. His character's name is Jack Reaper Reacher. Here's Alexis Garriga. Her character's name is Relevant. Now, the problem with her is that she has cancer, and I tried to make her look as miserable as possible for sympathy effects. Now with mercenaries, they go with whoever pays them the most. And with Riker, he raked out all the money in his deep pockets, which ensured a lifetime partnership. And Riker has a special ability. Before the apocalypse, he was working in a nuclear reactor, so when the apocalypse hit and the nuclear reactor melted down, an explosion knocked him on his ass, also melting his back into a electric conduit, and the wires inside it went into his bloodstream, giving him the power of electricity. Of course, the electricity going through his body also fried his hair white, but it also made him stronger, as you would tell. There's Christian Kuntz. I forgot what his character's name was, so I just called him Crossboy. There's Brian Smith. His name is Daniel Shadozanovich. Now he's a former M.A.C.E, but he got really tore up in the 5-year war. Had his arms tore off, his eye badly burned, one of his legs tore off. So, there he is. There's Ryan Merrick. His character's name is Sergeant Sergei Devokin. If you would have guessed by the name, he's Russian. Now there's me and Michaela Parsons. Her character's name is Valerie Clayton. In her bio, she put her character was a teacher, so I thought, why not put her in the first instructors unit? So my character also shifts from first command to first instructors and all over the M.A.C.E chain of command, so well, there you go. Now this is some really potent stuff. This is the M.A.C.E neural weapon, the Dream Strain. It's a serum injected into the bloodstream. It's a Now it's divided into two separate serums: the Dream Strain and the Nightmare Strain. Now the Dream Strain is a performance-enhancing serum intended for use by M.A.C.E personnel. Injected through the bloodstream, and the serum enhances the body's strength, agility, and equilibrium. Wounds heal almost instantaneously. Positive serum effects include walking on walls and water, ability to see through walls, ability to jump canyons in a single leap, increased hearing, and lightning from your hands. The negative effects are in the Nightmare Strain, the negative counterpart to the Dream Strain. The Dream Strain is envied by enemy personnel, so if you join the M.A.C.E, you have to carry both strains with you at all times, along with the needle, because they will try to steal it. Now, the Nightmare Strain, it's a mind-drugging serum intended for use by enemies of M.A.C.E. Injected through bloodstream, the serum travels through the bloodstream into the brain, then the serum kicks in, causing the subject to fall into a real-life nightmare state. The symptoms of the real-life nightmare state include body hallucinations, body spasms, inexplicable cuts and injuries, slow locomotion, voice loss, and insanity to the suicidal brink. This serum is real psychological warfare in the making, but it works both ways, so even nicking yourself with the needle could be dangerous. So watch yourself. Now this needle is the serum injection and delivery needle, made by the M.A.C.E technical engineers for all M.A.C.E personnel, but mostly medics. Operation is via a small hydraulic squeeze between the trigger, the handle, and the syringe. Once the trigger is pulled, the hydraulic releases from its tension in the loaded position, causing the syringe to empty. Depending on the size of the serum jar, up to 2 or 3 injections can be made at a time. Just pull back the syringe handle in the back towards the back until a click is heard. It is loaded, and you're ready to go. But if the jar is empty and it's loaded, however, the trigger has to be pulled before the needle can be reloaded. Then replace the empty jar with a full one and pull back the pump. The serum will be pumped into the syringe by a small little valve alongside the syringe. Once the pump is pulled back. On to the next one. There's Tyler. Now he had a really bad streak at home, so he moved to Highland, but that's in real life. In this, he was really messed up during the apocalypse. he was possessed. With this look, I kind of made him look like Baraka times 5. If you if you know what if you know what the video game Enclave is, you would know what I'm talking about. He's the General of the Dragatar, an assistant High Counselor to Ark Moore. And between you and me, he's a consort to Mordessa. Trust me, you do not want to know what that is. There's Mordessa and Tyler. Now there's Josh with a custom BAR. What it is, it's basically a BAR with a suppressor, a 200 round drum, and a reflex sight. Now Riker is also a pilot, so I tried to get as much detail as possible alongside the minigun. Supposedly he pulled this out of his A-10. Not sure where the British would get his own. Not sure where the British would get an A-10, but that's the Air Force's problem, not mine. Now that's me. I'm in charge of the Navy branch of the M.A.C.E. There's 4 branches. And Army, Air Force, Navy, and in Joe's case, the Marines. I was kind of watching Stephen King's Dreamcatcher when I was watching this. I mean, when I came up with this guy. So this is me and Mr. Gray in an Arctic, in the M.A.C.E standard issue Arctic uniform. If you can't see the if you can't see the speech bubbles all that well, I'm sorry, but if you've seen Dreamcatcher, you know what Mr. Gray sounds like. But trust me, there's a lot of language between me and Mr. Gray, so so the next page is just blank, ready for my next drawing. So that's it. That's all there is.